Hi guys, just sending the live out. Whilst the live's going out, I'll give it about a minute or two, like I always do, see if we can get any traffic to the page. I'll slurp on my brew till we get at least a watcher, and we'll just gonna give you an update. Really, I've not been doing many videos. Reason being, I haven't been in the right mental space. I haven't been too well up until the last week or two. I've started picking up. So these are the reasons. I usually go live or update you when I'm on my IVs, but this time around I didn't. I didn't have the energy. I didn't feel well, so I didn't come on. But just to inform everyone, I have finished my last IV course about a month ago. Um, I didn't feel that great again when I was coming, to the end of the medication. I even had to start some more antibiotics on top of that because of my nose. Uh, bad sinus problems. I went back on azithromycin for a bit. But what's happened in between is I've had to have blood tests during the start of my home IV medication, midway through, and at the end. And all these blood tests were flagging up slightly on the liver, on the liver side of things. So once treatment ended, I had to go and see me doctor. Well, the nurse. So the nurse had took some bloods. Then I had to go again, repeat. So I've repeated about 5 blood tests on the liver, and this last one said required to speak to the doctor. So we're getting a telephone call probably this afternoon actually off the doctor to go over what's going on with my liver at the moment, and that's probably down to all the IV antibiotics and all the medication in the past. I've got something in my eye which isn't good. So yeah, with the IVs in the past I've had, probably need to do another repeat blood test in about 2-3 weeks. I am debating to speak to the specialist to see if we can cut the amount of times I have the IVs during the year, especially with my liver doing this. I'm thinking about probably twice a year instead of 4. So that's where we are with them side of things. At the moment, I'm not feeling in particular that bad. I have been supplementing again on top. I'm going to talk you through probably 4 or 5 supplements before I go what I'm using, that you could use, see if there's any impact in your bronchiectasis. And that's about it really. I don't really have any much more to bring to you apart from the new properties. It's not too bad, but again, with all properties you do run into issues. The only issue we've run into this property is something to do with the windows. I think the seal's gone on the window, so when it's cold or winter, it's actually blowing the blinds. The blinds are moving, the curtains are moving, so that'll need sorting out for next winter. But it's damp free. It's got vents in the ceiling. We seem to be doing a little bit better here. So fingers crossed. We've only been here about 3-4 months. It's starting to feel like home. We had to deal with a few little shits, but we sent them on their way. When you're the newcomer in a tougher state. I've been there all my life, but not in that particular state where I've lived. But yeah, we had a bit of problems with little kids throwing stuff out the window and that, but we sorted them out. We spoke to the parents, and it's good. The only other thing we've had to deal with is while we're on dealing with neighbours, next door neighbour is burning something in the garden. So we've moved from one house where the guy used to burn something in the back garden every week to another house, but this guy, I don't know what he's burning. It doesn't smell like cardboard at all. My dog was barking, so partner went out and said, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" He said, "Oh, sorry. I have a little fire once a week, and I only do it once a week of an evening time on a Wednesday." So I thought it's not too bad. At least he tells us it's on a Wednesday evening time. We'll shut the windows. Blah blah blah. He's doing it in the conjoined driveway at the front of the garden as well. He's not even doing it in the back garden. He's not using an incinerator bin. He's burning on the floor. Anyway, this one day he did it in the morning, so early afternoon. I shut my windows. Later the same night, I had a family member come over, my sister with a baby. I had the dryer on because the dryer is think it's a certain dryer, it's not one that needs a pipe out the window, so I hope open the window so it don't get too hot in the kitchen. And then 20 minutes later, I've gone back in the kitchen, I can smell it's burning again. Not only does it affect me, it affects Vicky, it affects the dog. Really stinks. The next day I woke up, came down, the whole house stunk of it. So I had to do what I had to do, and I had to tell the housing association that this guy is burning stuff. I don't know what he's burning. He's doing it in the front of his garden. No incinerator bin, no tube taking the smoke up. What was happening is, just to give you a visual, he was burning his side of the wall, which is here, and he was burning on the floor, which is down there. The smoke was then hitting his wall and coming over our side like that. So I couldn't deal with it. Don't get me wrong, they're really nice people. They're a bit, without being rude, a bit simple. But that's not their fault. But at the end of the day, if we don't nip this in the bud, we're going to have severe health issues. We couldn't even use the nebulizer, to be honest, for about 2 days because of the smell of the smoke in the house. So that's where we are. Chest wise, I'd say I'm a little bit better. But I wouldn't say I'm great. I say nasally. My problems are really bad at the moment. I don't know why that is. I don't know. It's not a dusty house, nothing like that. But my sinusitis has been playing up mad. It's only slowed down the last week. It was like my nose was on a tap. I was bringing disgusting green stuff out my nose and things like that. And because of all the general, I'll get to another topic actually, because we create a lot of waste. Obviously, with a family like you do, we recycle, but sometimes we have to pay people to empty the bins because in Manchester they empty the general waste bin once every 3 weeks. So what was happening is, when we was getting all this medication, it was going in our waste bin. So you're talking all the IV equipment, bags, aprons, bottles, everything like that. So in the other house, they give us a big black bin that was like, a, like you get a single bed and then you get a 3/4 bed. It was like a 3/4 bin. So what happened, obviously, when we had to leave the temporary house to go into our proper new home, we didn't think about bringing the bin. I didn't want to ask, the person who was going to take the bin. So we left the bin thinking they'd bring it, the council would bring the bin back to us, but they didn't. Instead, they give us a green type of bin, and it goes out. The good thing about it can go out every week with the general waste bin. So we got that. So that's very good. I'm just trying to update you on a few things, really. Whatever's gone off in the kitchen's gone off. I don't know what it was. So we're doing it with some pipes. So that's it, really. I don't think there's anything else apart from, you all know one, the Tobramycin. I have IVs every couple of months. I don't think there is. I mean, I spoke to a doctor at Withenshaw, just give a brief description of what's going on. Told her that, with this Tobramycin, it's a long way for me to go to pick this medication up, and if it's not killing two birds with one stone kind of thing, and I'm taking antibiotics on top of antibiotics, which I am, what shall we do? So we're waiting for an input on that, really. I did go for a chest X-ray not long ago. I went because I was getting these like bubbles in my chest. It was like trap wind, but not trap wind. So these bubbles wouldn't go 3, 4, 5 days. So I thought it was like a slight collapsed lung or something strange. Trapped went for went for an X-ray. That was fine. My sleep study come back fine as well. If everyone's waiting for the results that come back, so that's it really on the whole last 5 to 6 months. So I'm going to just show you some supplements before I go. What you might want to take. Okay, so if you can see, I'm going to put the screen on a bit larger because it's small. Okay, a daily multivitamin. Don't know if you can see that with the window. Bit of a glare. I should have thought this through, but never mind. Daily multivitamin. I'm taking a product, I don't take it religiously, but it's called 5-HTP. It's an Indian leaf. It helps you with relaxation, helps you with sleep, and it can also be used as a natural antidepressant as well. Um, with anxiety, things like that. So it's really good. 85 HTP, not to be taken with any antidepressants alongside them, they have to be taken separately. Like I say, it's more of a sleeping aid, but if taken correctly, it can help us a depression mechanism, it can help us relaxation, anxiety. I'm using something called, can you see, krill oil. It's basically just like an omega-3 oil, fish oil. I don't eat fish, so because I don't eat fish, I'm lacking in certain oils and vitamins. So I have that. Um, I'm also using this. I always tell everyone about zinc and magnesium. To have a good immune system, you must have zinc and you must have magnesium. So people might be lacking in either one in their diet, whether that's the magnesium side or the zinc. So with this, they should keep your immune system doing what it should do. And the last thing that I'm going to show you is a product, I don't know if you can see it, called milk thistle. Now, this is important for people who have a lot of medication, such as myself. What I don't understand with the NHS or anyone like that, why, when they give you a cycle of IV intravenous medication, at the end of it, do they not give you a cycle of this or something similar to? It's called milk thistle. I don't know if you've seen it. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah, why they're not giving you a course of something that cleanses the liver? It makes me think why. So this is for cleansing your liver. Milk thistle. Everything I've shown here is a natural supplement. That is actually a flower. Actually, I should say flower. It is a milk thistle extract, Silabon maranium seed. So does great things in detoxing the liver. Okay, guys. So you have to do your own research, okay? Because if you don't, you might run into problems like me with my liver. And I'm here to help you avoid these mistakes. So you can take this all the time. You don't need to come off it, but I would cycle it. I'd cycle it for a good 4 weeks and then come off it when you get your IVs. Cycle it for the next 4 weeks. You come off them. All right, guys. I'm out of it. Stay sexy, and I'm out of it.